Yo, what's up? So, welcome back to another weekly recap, Inchu Weekly Recap. So, as you can see right here, this is Monday, the 3rd of March 2025, and we have a big opening range gap. So, I'm not going to go into detail explaining what that means and, like why is it any good, but yeah, we have a big gap. And also, it's a Monday with NFP during the week. So we're allowed to trade those Mondays. We're allowed to look for moves at least Monday and Tuesday. At least for Monday and Tuesday, then Wednesday, we can try trade after the NFP. And then Thursday, we don't trade. And then Friday, we can trade after NFP. But yeah, that's what's happening. We have a big gap. And with that big gap, we have a new week opening gap high and a new week opening gap in low inside the opening range gap. And as you can see, the consequent encroachment, I'm sure you could just like estimate where it could be. It's inside the new week opening gaps, new week opening gap, my mistake, which is highly probable since we know that 30% of the time 70% of the time, price runs to the consequent encroachment of a opening range gap in the first 30 minutes of trading. So yeah, that's just the truth. And that's really high probability here today. So yeah, moving on. Oh, before I move on, let's say you are a total soup trader, you could wait for the highs to get swept and then see how big the gap is, then just sell. So yeah, obviously having in mind if it's a premium or discount gap. Moving on. Moving on. So as you can see, price swept the highs by side liquidity, created a first presentation fair value gap, which you could have used to enter a trade down to the consequent encroachment, since we understand that price goes to the consequent encroachment at least 70% of the time. It has a 70% chance to go there. And the odds are in our favor today. We swept the highs. We have a premium gap opening. We have a new week opening gap inside the opening range gap. Plus, we have consequent encroachment inside the new week opening gap, which is just banger. Plus the 70% chance. So that could have been a trade, easy trade. You would have known that, okay, today I'm going to make money nonetheless. Like, really easy trade. And it's a Monday with NFP during the week. Fucking easy stuff. But that's not my model. So I didn't take it. So then this right here is basically what I was saying back in the previous screenshot. You can read all that if you want to, or you could just fast forward. And then right here is my trade I took on that day. But the thing I don't like about this trade is that I took it during, not even during news. It was post news, but it wasn't at least 15 minutes post news. So that's what I didn't like. It's not like I was forced to take this trade, but I took this trade not knowing that at 9:45 there's news. But basically, it's my model and shit. 9:50 shit. Have a nice drawn liquidity. Just go with the bias that's already there. So if it's a downtrend and you see nice lows, as you can see there, I marked 1 hour time frame relatively equal lows. So yeah, those were highly probable, and yeah, it was just I took the trade at the macro time, 9:50 to 10:10. So yeah, it was just chill. And then right here is just a screenshot of a trade I would have taken if I had not traded like 5 minutes post the news, because that trade was taken basically 5 minutes post the news driver that just happened. So the only reason I would have taken this trade was really because of how price reacted to the quadrants of the opening range gap. So yeah, basically price reacted to the consequent encroachment twice. And then on the second attempt, it had two candles closing and dropping immediately, which is good. Dropped, came up to the lower quadrant, and then yeah, from there I looked at the time, saw that it was the macro time, and I had nice lows below, There were two like almost relatively equal lows there. So I would have used that if I was gonna take that trade. So yeah. So this is the 4th of March 2025, and price is delivering to the consequent encroachment in the first 30 minutes of trading. So this day I was kind of not interested in this day. It kind of disappointed me because I wanted to at least try and trade this day and have back-to-back trades, but nah, disappointed me, and I didn't like it in the sense that I didn't like the way it was treating the first presented fair value gap. That's just not cool. That on its own just tells you a lot. So yeah. And then this was really why I was not interested. Yeah, just look at this. Like that's just not interesting on its own, you know? So yeah. Once again, I was really not interested in the stage just by seeing how price treated the first presented fair value gap. So yeah, here we have Friday the 7th of March. So I was interested in trading this day until I saw the previous day's closure, and I was like, nah, whatever. So yeah, this was the previous day's candle. It was enormous. It was black. It was enormous. It was a fucking BBC. But nonetheless, no diddy, no diddy. But yeah, I didn't trade that. And by the way, I'm back on delayed data, but that's not going to be for too long. I have a plan in mind, so I had to get back on delayed data. But once I get back on real time data, yeah, shit is going to be good. Shit is going to be fucking good. Now, they say if you manifest and work, you are bound to achieve what you manifest. But if you just sit down, manifest, and be like, nah, by next year I want a fucking 2022 BMW M340i or M3, you're most likely not going to get it unless a miracle happens. Someone's like, hey, dude, take my car, which is never going to fucking happen. Or maybe if you're just a lucky person, it could happen to you. But if you manifest and work towards that, you are bound to achieve it. May not happen in the time you say you're going to achieve it, but you are going to achieve it. So that's my word of advice for y'all. I always have a word of advice before I close these videos. But yeah, the future is looking good. At least by next year, I should have a funded account, or close to the end of this year, I should have a funded account. So that's my plan. So nonetheless, goodbye.